you're new here, welcome to Rose's World. Before I dive into this video, I just want to take this time to thank everybody who has been subscribing, watching, sharing, and commenting. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and put on your notification button on, because I'm going to be bringing you guys new videos every Sunday. And also, before I go deep into the video, I just want to take this time to say happy Ramadan to all my Muslim. I hope and pray God answer all your prayers. So best of luck, guys. Now, as you guys already know, today I'm telling you guys 10 things I wish I knew before I got married. Like 10 things I wish somebody could have just pulled me on the side and say, Rose, these are things you need to know before you take that step, okay? So before I dive into this any more further, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and also don't forget to like, share, and comment. Let's go into it. So who's ready? One, your happiness should not be based on his love. Ladies, I'm going to be talking more to my ladies because I'm talking out of my experience, and some of them some men can relate to as well, but most of the time I'll be talking things that women are going to be able to relate to more. So my number one will be, your happiness should not be based on his love. Ladies, I repeat, your happiness should not be based on his love. Do not get into a committed relationship. Do not go into a committed relationship thinking this man is going to change your world, thinking this man is going to be the center of your happiness. No, sweetheart. That's something you need to know where your happiness is. That's something you need to find for yourself, okay? Find your happiness. Know the things that makes you happy. For example, when you guys are not really seeing eye to eye, where do you get your happiness from? Are you still going to depend on him? No. That's something you need to know where to get it from. So love yourself and know where your source of happiness is from, and know that you're happy with yourself, with or without anybody. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if you're single right now, or if you're even in a relationship but in not, like, you guys are not living together right now, please enjoy your time. Enjoy your time, like self-timing, and enjoy it. Take this time that you're not into a committed relationship yet to know who you are. Take this time to do the best that you can do for yourself right now, because I know people say, oh, when you get married things don't change much. That's a lie. Things change a lot. So if you're single right now, my dear, I'm telling you, travel. If you want to travel, if you want to go clubbing, go clubbing. If you want to drink, so long you're not overdoing things and you know what you're doing, do things that makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, when you get married, you're gonna have to limit most of those things. And when you try to limit things you haven't really gotten out of your system yet, that starts to bring a lot of problem in the relationship. So for now, if you're single, please go out there, live your life, so long as you do it sensibly and you know you're not hurting anybody. So go out there and live your best life, okay? And also make sure you're doing it in a smart way. You're not going around wasting money unnecessarily, because this brings me to number three. Number three, know your goals and know what his goals are. The reason why I say this is I feel like most of our sisters these days, well, most women these days, we tend to get carried away by love and little gestures like the romance part of it, or how they look, or anything like that. We tend to forget what 10 years is going to look like. We focus on what today and the 6 months is. We don't really look beyond when that phase of the honeymoon period finishes. So you need to know what your goals are. You need to set your goals for yourself. When I mean set your goals for yourself, girl, go empower yourself, open your business, go to school, save, like do things that you know will benefit you and whoever is coming into your life in the next month or a year or 5 years. And also try to know what their goals are, because that can make or break if you really want to be with this person or not. The reason why I say that is, for example, let's assume that I want to get married to my boyfriend. And for me, in the next 5 years, I want to be in a professional job. I want to have a kid, and I want to be in my own house, and I want to be running my own business. And then I asked him, like, babe, what do you like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And he start telling me in the next 5 years he still wants to be hanging around his friends, or he wants to be traveling, or he wants to buy himself a freaking Louis Vuitton. Girl, that's a red flag. Run. Okay? Because right now what he just told you is he's not ready to be where you want to be in the next 5 years. So use your head, ladies. Don't be fooled. Use your head. Build your goals and know what his goals are. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be here in 5 years time and he still wants to be here in a year time, it's gonna take you guys forever to get to the next level, because you two are not on the same page. And if you go ahead and get married to an individual like that, that's a recipe for a potential disaster. So build your goals and know what his goals are. Sometimes not everybody knows what their goals are, but some can actually tell you what they want like what they want and how they want to live. So you can use that to assess where they are. Also, be careful on how they tell you things and what you listen to. You can listen to what they're telling you, but focus on their actions, ladies. A man can tell you, oh, I want to be here in 5 years time, but if in 1 year he's still doing things that's not going to lead him to that 5 year promise, girl, no, it shows that he's not ready to be there in 5 years time. So look at his action, not just his words. So that brings us to number 4. Number 4, build your finances. This is going for both men and women. The reason why I say that is I see most couples going into marriage, especially after they've spent a lot of money in their weddings, which most people do nowadays. It's perfectly fine if that's you, but personally, if I had a choice, I wouldn't do things like that. I'd rather buy a house than go feed 300 people, and in a week time they probably will not remember my wedding. So that's just me, but it's up to you. You can celebrate however you want to celebrate, but what I'm saying is build your financial system. Why is you single? For example, if you would have a partner who is not really good with money, but you're very good with money, you're saving and making sure that, okay, whoever comes into my life, I'm gonna make it easier for them, for us to build our future together. If you have saved 50,000, let's say somebody else comes into the relationship with another 50,000, there you go, you've got 100,000 to work with already. Whereas if you haven't saved anything and they haven't saved anything, you guys are pretty much going to start from bottom. Whereas if you have been saving, you guys are going to have a foundation already. All you need to do is build on that foundation. So build your financial system. And also, I don't know about other women, but for me it's very empowering. I know when a man come into my life and that tells you I can do with or without you. That tells a man that you can go out there and make it happen with or without them. And also for the blokes, like that tells a woman that, look, I can do this with or without you. So you being with me is a plus. So that will be my number 4. Build your finance system. Don't let anything comes in between your moolah. Number 5, men and women are completely different people. I know people will say, oh, duh, that's obvious. No, sweetheart, when you get married, it's really not that obvious. When I mean men and women are completely different people, men want things in a different way than what women want. Men see things in a different light from how women see things. For me personally, I feel like for my husband, how he feels love is by me honoring him, respecting him, and sex. For him, that's perfect love. For me, I'm an emotional creature. Like, boy, give me your emotions. Like, give me affection. I want to be affirmed that yes, you in this. Like, I invest in emotions. And because my husband doesn't show emotions most of the time, I think the only time my husband has shown emotion was when I was pushing our baby. And he probably think because the baby was destroying his toy. Okay. But that doesn't mean he doesn't love me. It just shows that his own way of showing me that he loves me is by making sure I've got roof on my head, is by making sure I've got my weekly allowance. I know, right? is by making sure that I'm happy, by him paying bills or doing what he can. That's his own way of making me feel that I'm loved. Why is with me? I want him to walk in the door with flowers every day. I want him to tell me he loves me every day. But that's me not being considerate, because at the end of the day, he's got his own way of loving, and I've got my own way of loving. My husband is a very logistic person. For him, A B equals C. There is no D and E to it. A and B equals C. Why is with me? Oh, I will analyze A and make sure I add an A plus and a B minus next to it. I will go into it, because I'm a deep thinker. Whereas with him, he's a very logistic person. So we're completely different, but yet still we have understand on how different we are, to the point that where we work easily, because I understand that this is him and he understands that this is me. So that will be my number 5. Like, whew. Number 6, I'll say communication. Why is you single on whilst you're like not together yet? Build your communication skills, build your listening skills. Because if you look at a lot of research, or research a lot of reasons why couples divorce and stuff like that, in the top 5 will be lack of communication. When you were single, or when you're really in that honeymoon phase, when I keep saying honeymoon phase, for me, boyfriend and girlfriend is a honeymoon phase. When you take that next step, I'm telling you, it's different. Build on your listening skills. When you're single, or when you're with your fiance, you can block them, you can choose not to talk to them. Like, they can talk to you and you still try to be like, whatever. When you're married, communication is key. And especially with us women, we are very selective in our listening. You can be talking to a woman, she can only pick the things she wants to hear from that conversation. Okay, that's me. So for example, yeah, my husband used to come home. Let's say my husband comes home every 5:30, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and then on Wednesday night he decided to come home at 7:30, and then before he already get home, I'm already upset, without not even knowing why he's coming home late. I don't care at this point. I don't care why he's coming late. I just want him to walk in that door so I can ask him why he's coming home that late. He walks in and I'm like, hi babe, how are you? And then he goes, I'm good. Straight away in my head, me as Rose, in my head, I'm thinking, you didn't only just come home late. Now you're giving me a backhand comment. I'm snapping. What I failed to realize in that response that he gave me is his body language. Instead of me asking him, oh, why are you home late, or what's up, you will normally give me more detail into your day, but why are you doing this? I will not do it. I will start saying, so why are you home late? Blah, 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 blah. And whilst he's trying to explain why he's home, like why he's home late, in my head I've already picked out the other questions that I want to ask him, and all that's in my head right now are those questions. I'm not even listening to what he's saying anymore. I'm just waiting for him to finish so I can put my own questions in there. So my communication, and I realized the reason why my communication was that bad was when I was single, I felt like it's my life. I can do whatever I want to do, or I can talk to whoever I want to talk to, or I can limit what I say to people, or I can choose what I want to listen to. But when you get married, that needs to change, because you're now in a union. Your communication will make or break your marriage. And that's what I see most people failing to realize, that communication is one of the key tools to your marriage. So build on your communication skills and know what are your own ways to communicate, through happiness, through conflict, through unhappiness, through sadness. So just know what your ways of communications are with your partner, and also trying to understand what their ways of communication is with your partner. For example, my husband is a very quiet person. When he's upset, he just likes his own space. When I didn't know that, that used to trigger me a lot. I would think that he's running away from our argument, or he's just up himself, or he just doesn't want to talk. But that's his own way of calming down. Whilst with me, we have to talk it out, and we have to talk it out now. So that usually used to bring tensions between us, because then that's me pushing for something that he doesn't really want to do. So now I've learned to give him his own space. When he's calm and when I'm calm, we can both really, like, it makes it easier for us to just talk. Number 7, Lord have mercy. My dear, sex is more important than you think. Number 7, sex is more important than you think. When you boyfriend and girlfriend or fiance, or just, doing your thing, you can use sex as a weapon. For example, if he pisses you off, you can choose to close your legs. You can choose to not engage in sexual relations with him. You know what I mean? But when you married, you don't have those type of options. You're married. And also, intimacy is also one of the key things to a healthy relationship. I don't care, it's one of those topics that are taboos and everything like that, but you have to be on a 10 with your intimate life, and you have to be willing to try things with your husband. You have to be willing to be, for him to look at you the same way he looked at you when he met you. You know what I mean? Don't just go into a relationship and thinking, oh well, we used to do it once a week, but now why do you want to do it 3 times a week? Duh, you're right next to him. What do you expect? He has chosen to be with you for the rest of his life. You've chosen to be with him for the rest of your life. You live together, you sleep together. It's going to happen. So it's more important than you think, okay? So make sure you get your A game. Ladies, don't get married and start wearing those granny pajamas. If you used to wear those Victoria's Secrets, still wear those Victoria's Secrets, okay? Keep him in check. Number 8. So this is a bit of a risky one, because everybody's gonna be like, oh, but no. When you get married, your eyes didn't close your eyes. Your eyes are opened. There's going to be temptation, especially for the younger people that are getting married now. Like now, I'm noticing a lot of young people are getting married. I was very young when I got married as well. There's going to be temptations. You don't expect me right now, as I'm talking to you, to see Osha walking the streets and you think I'm not going to be like, damn, you're a fool if you think that way. You don't expect me to go out and see Russell Crowe. Is that how they call him? Not that I like him anyway. Or who do I like? You don't expect me to go out there and see Obama. You don't think I'm not gonna flirt with him. You're a fool if you think that way. No, there's going to be temptation. You're gonna come across things you will see in other people that you probably don't see in your husband. Maybe a guy will have a 6-pack, you wish for your husband to have a 6-pack. Maybe your guy had a baby, you wish for your husband. There's gonna be little things like that that are gonna tempt you, but you are allowed to look and fantasize, but do not put those things into action. You're only human. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There's going to be temptation, and just know how to control those temptations. So that will be my number 8. Number 9, you are going to need to deprioritize your relationships in your life. So when you're single, or when you're still looking at each other and not knowing, okay, this is Leslie, okay, this is gonna be my wife, this is gonna be my wifey, this is gonna be my boo for life. Usually everybody have their own groups at this point. You live in your own life with your little friend circles, family circles, and stuff like that. The day you decide to come together, you're gonna need to deprioritize some relationships in your life, okay? And I'm saying this right now. Of course, you're going to lose some friends. Of course, you're going to lose some families down the road. Those who were not really meant to be there anyway. But when you have good friends, like me, I was very lucky in my life. Most of my friends knew that my marriage was not going to change me, but my marriage was going to limit me from them. It doesn't mean I didn't love my friends. It doesn't mean I don't love my family. It just means that now that I've gotten married to my partner, he has to be my best friend. He has to be my husband. He has to be my go-to source for everything. I still do talk to friends. I still do talk to my families, but my husband is the center of my life. So you're going to have to deprioritize a lot of things in your life, a lot of relationships. I was that person when I got married. Little things I would run to my mom or my auntie or my friends and tell them everything about my husband. If my husband and I are cursing ourselves today, oh, trust me, I'll let the whole world know. What I was doing is I was failing to realize that I'm in a relationship with this man. I love this man. And my family love this man because of the love they've got for me. If I'm hurting, my family are going to hurt. So if I'm fighting with my husband or my future partner and I'm consistently running to my mom to tell her, what do you think my mom is going to feel towards that partner of mine? She's not going to like him, because no mother or no brother or sister or friend wants somebody who is going to hurt their loved ones. So you have to, I'm not saying you shouldn't open up to people if things are going really pear-shaped, but what I'm saying is if it's not something too bad, if it's something you can fix with your partner, there is no reason for somebody else to be involved in. And as I said, friends who understands, family who understands will know that you are now trying to make your own family. They will respect them. If they don't respect that, that's fine. They were not meant to be in your life anyway. Let them go and focus on building your own family. So that brings me to number 10. Number 10, when you finally decide to take that next step and you've signed those dotted lines, please hold off on kids for a year. Trust me, I know, especially coming from an African background, I know most people have this mentality the minute you get married or when are you having a baby. Don't let anybody pressure you into getting married. That first year of marriage is the crucial time of your relationship. That's the time you will use to know your partner very well. That's the time you get to enjoy each other. That's the time you get to build memories and foundations together. Bringing a kid into a relationship during that time, you are going to have to share your love, your memories, and something else and everything else with that kid. It's not a bad thing, but if you can hold off on it for a year and actually enjoy your marriage for that year, that will save you a lot of stress. Because what people don't understand is kids are not easy. Kids are hard work. A kid can change a relationship. Kids are not walk in the park. They look cute and everything, but kids have a lot to do with relationships. So if you've just got married, there's this pressure already to be the perfect wife or the perfect husband. You still haven't figured out where you want to live, or you still like tiptoeing with the in-laws. You still no us trying to understand what your husband likes, what he doesn't like, and then imagine bringing another life into it. It's just gonna make it more complicated. It's just gonna make it more harder. So even if you, I know some people will be saying, well, I'm too old, so I have to do that. Like especially us women, we don't have time on our hands. But what is for you is always going to be for you. I don't think holding off for a year will stop anything that is meant to happen. Let society critique you. Let people think what they want to think. Because with me, when I got married, as young as I am, because I've always had fibroids. That's something I'm going to do a video on. I've always had fibroids, so conceiving is always a little bit tricky for me. So when I got married, a lot of people used to, oh, when are you going to have a kid? Try to have a kid. Because when I got married, I think it took me 2 years before I actually had my son. So it takes time, and I was perfectly okay with that timing because I knew that I needed to know who I am in my marriage. I knew I needed to know who my husband was in my marriage. So together, I need to know what his parenting skills were going to be, and he needed to know what my parenting skills were going to be. So holding off on having a kid is actually going to save you a lot more than you think. So those are my 10 tips that I wish I knew, and I'm still learning some of them. One more thing I'll just chuck in there. You guys know I'm generous. I always have to chuck something in there. Counseling. Go to counseling. I know there's a lot of stigma around counseling, especially in our African community. People think because you're going to counseling, you're fighting with your partner or you're not ready to get married. No, that's a completely BS. One thing, because me and my husband, we got married on in a Catholic church, and I think that's one thing I like about the Catholic church, because before you walk down the aisle, they'll make sure you go do counseling sessions with your partner. When I tell you that really helped me and my husband, you wouldn't believe it. We were at, imagine, we were planning for our wedding. We were like, I think it was like 3 months into our wedding when we started doing those counseling. So it's not like we were fighting. We were happy planning our wedding. But during that, during those sessions of counseling, we both got to understand so much what our do's and don'ts are. We got to understand how much we're ready to give in our relationship, and we got to understand what our priorities are. So if you are thinking of taking that next step, talk to your partner, go seek counseling. Like, you don't even have to do it for like a long time, but just go see a relationship counselor and talk to them. It doesn't mean your relationship isn't a problem. Don't let society make you feel like, oh, you can't be going to counseling, that means it's a disaster. No, it's not. It's called prevention is better than cure, okay? And that's one thing I was happy I did going into my marriage, because that counseling, those counseling sessions really helped me and my husband. So there you have it. Those were my 10 things I wish I knew before I got married, and some I'm still learning and some I'm glad I did. So if you like anything that you had on my video, or to all my wives who probably have experienced something different than I have, leave your comment below. You never know who you might be helping with those comments. So thank you so for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Okay, hit the subscribe button now. What are you waiting for? Woo! Have a good week and see you all next Sunday. Bye.